Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Grille, the Tier 5 German SPG. I'm on the westbourne of Sand River, and I'm under my American username, my NA username of Biggest Dickus. Well, as you may know, the mode for Arty has now changed by Wargaming, and a lot of people criticised it to start with, and I think they still hate the new changes. But I thought I'd do a test because we've noticed some very unusual results since the changes came into effect. In fact, we've noticed that surprisingly, very few people are still playing Arty on the server. Not just this server, all servers. I think they tried playing Arty for a few days under the new system, and then have stopped playing it altogether. And the reason I say that is because it took me 4 minutes to get a game on the NA server. Now that might say that yes, this is tier 5 and they couldn't find enough tier 5 players to put together to make a team, and in fact it is a reduced numbers game. There's only 12 players either side, but nevertheless I noticed that there was half as many Arty players in the queue as there was other tanks, so I think the numbers of Arty players have dropped substantially. Okay, well, no enemy turned up yet. Now, the 15cm Schwer Feldhaubitze, which is a heavy howitzer, is capable of doing 480 alpha if it can penetrate 38mm of armour. And since this is tier 5, there's bound to be a few tanks out there that I can pen, and that's one of them. That is a Wolverine. Tier 5 American tank destroyer. Rounds out. Direct hit. First shot, 217 hit points, and he's killed immediately afterwards by our T-34 shielded. I've changed position to avoid counter battery and lining up for my next shot. And the next enemy has appeared, and he's right up in the north. It's a Panzer IV Ausrung H Anku, which is the Japanese anime version of the Panzer IV. Okay, he's moving about quite a bit. Does he stop? No, he's still moving. So that shell was a miss. I thought he'd stop moving about. But nevertheless, I just did a bit of moving myself there after I fired while staying in the aim view. I'm going to follow the Anku. I might put the next round though on the T25 TP. Rounds out. Well, it hits both of them. And I get damage off both, and I'm now going to change position. You can see that the fellow Arty on my team, who's a 105 FH18B2, is also firing at the same targets, and he's getting hits as well. Oh, lovely kill! And I picked up some damage assist because I tracked him. Rounds out the Anku. Yeah, he's there. Just got my first kill. So, rather surprisingly, a lot of these players are finding it very difficult to avoid Arty now. Even though they get the warning that our shells are on the way, they hear a rumbling noise and all of a sudden the bang. Going for the KV-1. Direct hit, and it damages both. Yes, you do get some rumbling noise or roaring noise as the shell arrives, even if you haven't got the warning. A lot of people do have the early warning system, so they get notification the shell's on its way in the moment it's fired. And of course they see it on the minimap where our shells are landing, so they know where we're focusing. Rounds out that corner. Change position again. Now you may have noticed that I've actually got one mark on my barrel, and that's true. I do have the MOA up to 82.3, I think it is, or 82.2. So close to a second mark. Okay, Striv M42, tier 5 Swedish medium. Rounds out. He's got thin armour. Oh, direct hit, and I set light to him. And he's almost dead. And the VP puts him out of his misery. So that's the second kill for the VP. Changing position after each shot. Make sure that the enemy can't counter battery you. You don't have to move very far now that the blast radiuses have been changed. You'll notice I'm only firing standard ammo. I do have 5 of the special rounds, but I'm not using them. I'm only firing the standard HE. course, as you can see, the standard HE is capable of doing 480 alpha 38mm, and the other HE will do slightly more damage, 560 is at 580, and also penetrates 48, but it's got a smaller blast radius. Okay, we've got a Churchill 3. I'm letting it dial in. Can't see him. There he is. Okay, we had to move the vehicle slightly there to get the aim on. I reckon he's going to be about there. Rounds out. Oh, I clicked out of aim view just as I fired, so I didn't see what that shell did. He's surrounded now. There's no way he's going to get away with this. And the Fifi's still getting shots on target. And he's gone. Now, you may have noticed I'm actually moving towards the village. And with good reason, really. I expected that T1 Heavy and the KV1 to come down to our cap now that there was nobody on that route. So once that flank has basically fallen, it's better to move away than actually fall victim to a heavy tank who turns up at your cap area. And the Fifi has actually decided to come with me, along with the T14 in the riverbed. Now I'm parking myself alongside this Wolverine, the one I hit, first enemy tank I hit in the game. And from here I can actually cover any of the enemy tanks that are coming down the zero line. Well, the first enemy tank who's coming back to the cap to try and reset it because they're capping is a T1, and I'm leading the target to round out. Right into his side for 211. He's taking fire, and the Fifi finishes him off. That guy's really hot today. 3 kills. Okay, so there's only 2 heavies left. The KV1 and the Churchill. KV1 does have a kill, but I guess that he's on his way back to our cap, or he's in the northeast corner of the map. The Strib's going up to have a quick look to see if he can find them. Our team have decided to start capping again. We've also got an M10 RBFM who's going on the north bank of the river to try and see if he can spot anything. I'm looking in the north to see if I can pre-aim. And the M10's found one of the enemy one of the enemy heavies. It's the Churchill 1, and he is near on cap, but I'm so close to the mosque I can't get a shot on target, and we capped out before I can get a round out. Well, here's the end of battle results, and I think you can see straight away that something is definitely wrong with the system. Yes, on my first game I got a first class tanker in the Grille, and I also picked up my second mark of excellence. In fact, in that one single game alone, my MOE score went from 82 up to 93. Yes, 11 points jump in one game. So something has definitely mucked up the MOEs. And the only thing that I can think of is that very few people are playing Arty now, and that's why the scores, even just a moderate score like this, is likely to pump up your values straight away. Now, I did get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. I got 8 in that one, and I did get the high caliber because I dealt the most damage in the game. My win rate was 3662, but that's nothing really special for this Arty because I've done that many times before, and I've always found it difficult to actually keep the MOE moving up step by step to get the second mark. But now, not a problem. Now that tends to make me think that a lot of people have stopped playing Arty altogether, and now it's only those few people, the expert people, who are now playing, and as a result it's much easier to get a third mark on your Arty. So let's have a look at the team score and see where we stand. Well, you can see that, yep, top of the table with 1,576 hit points. I was the only player to get over 1,000 in that game. 939 went to the Chinu, and the Arty, the Fifi, he did very well with 822 hit points, third on damage. In fact, I do know that this player, he contacted me after the game, and I will actually pull up his name. He contacted me after the game. He did very well with his win 8. You can see that 1872, and said if there was any time I wanted to platoon with him, he would be willing to. And I'm not surprised really. He's a good player, and obviously he's probably looking to find somebody who can actually generate lots of wins and lots of XP with. And there's his player, clutch shot 007. Well done, very good game. You did excellently well in that one. You picked off targets which I'd already hit, and I was very grateful that you did. So let's have a look at the rest of the stats. When it came to kills, it was, yes, Clutch Shot who did the best. He got 3 kills, the highest scorer in the game. 2 kills went to the Panzer IV Ausrung H, and 2 kills went to the T-34 Shielded. I only got the 1 kill in the game, but I wasn't worried about that in the slightest, because I was getting good hits on some of the other tanks, and they were being taken out by my teammates. When it came to base XP, yep, I've actually was second in that one. The Churchill 3 in our team managed to get 772. I managed to get 700, and the third player was the Chinu with 624. And you can see the Fifi 482 out of that one, still better than all of the enemy tanks. So he was having a really good day, Clutch Shot. Let's have a look at detail. I fired only 9 rounds in the game, got 6 direct hits, 2 penetrations, and 6 splash, and that was with standard ammo. Not the new stuff, not the special shells. This was just standard reduced damage shells. 1,576 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. I damaged 6 of the enemy, killed 1, did 221 hit points of damage assistance, plus 405 hit points of stun assist off 7 stuns. On a premium count, I earned 34,463 credits from the game, got 80,000 for completing missions, and 114,463 credits altogether. After ammunition resupply, I actually ended up with 114,463 because there was no cost on the ammo resupply. Don't know why. And 1,050 XP, times 2 for the first victory, 525 from personal reserves, took away 2,625 experience points altogether. So what do I take away from this? I take it away that Wargaming have forced a lot of people out of playing Arty, and they've either left the game altogether or they're playing other tanks. But as a result, the few people who are playing Arty are finding it much easier to mark your tanks. So if you are an Arty player, go out there and play to your heart's content at the moment, because more than likely you are going to be able to 3-mark your Arty very, very quickly, because most of the members of What Arty Noobs are very good Arty players already, and they practice either daily or on a regular basis. And if you do have an Arty and you are good, you are going to be able to have the 3rd mark, no problem whatsoever. I'm going to continue playing the Grille later on today and see if I can get it up to its 3rd mark. I suspect it won't be long before I do. If I do, I might actually put up another video on the channel to let you know. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.